Hello and welcome again to Stocks Advisor channel. In today's episode, we will talk about these three companies. These are Therapeutics, BeiGene, and Qiagen. Well, first we will start with Therapeutics, and this is a stock that's actually showing a very nice and steady growth and forming so-called 20-50-200 pattern when its moving averages are aligned one on top of each other, starting from slower to faster ones. And usually if this is the case, it means that the company is growing steadily nice, and until it is true, actually the price is going up, and mid-long term you are safe if you just take let's say a portion, take your buy and you stay on the stock. But if you are more like short-term player, you need to get the nice wave to enter and to exit. And therefore, let's do a more closer look to TGTX, and then we will know where we can get the wave and make a nice opening of the position. So currently, we can see that the price action is following a longer term, let's say, upwards wave that started really already like half a year, almost 5 months ago in May. And you can see, let's call this T1 trend, and actually it consisted on two bigger, on two waves. One is actually the huge wave that consisted on 3 waves almost, and used moving average 20 and 50 as a support here and there, and it started in May and finished somewhere in about 10ish of August, again reconfirming T1 trend here. And in both cases, when it went to its maximum volumes, it also created very nice RSI pattern, classically being overbought, and then returning exactly to the middle when it was recharging here and there. And then actually when the wave was broken about August and then reconfirmed, it went a little bit lower RSI wise on the middle, so it went closer to oversold area. Then recovery started on RSI, and also a new wave started here. And what we saw actually at the beginning of September, the wave went first to acceleration, also sending RSI to overbought. But then the wave did break, so it was a broken wave. Here you can clearly see it went downwards and again used moving average 50 as support. Then a quick rebound. This is usually the case for acceleratedly broken waves, meaning like if wave is going normally, and then instead of immediately breaking, it first, so it goes normally, then slightly accelerates and breaks. And if this takes short time, so it's fast break, usually it also has a fast recovery, and then further action is happening. That's exactly what we see here. In the beginning of September, the wave did break, and then slight fast recovery, and then continuing like a normal wave. And then actually at about 22nd of September, the wave ended using moving average 50 and also T1 line as support. Then we saw actually this last wave forming with 2 steps, and when reaching again the current maximum, also slightly went overbought on RSI, and now the wave is actually correcting, and it's going kind of slight correction, actually quite nice, you can say. And now we're sitting at again a double support. It's moving average 50 and T1 line. So now the question is from where we can start a new wave. And the first answer would be, well, it might already take place. If you also look at MACD histogram, it's nicely going negative, so it's almost on the minimum of negative wave, so it should start its recovery sequence going upwards, also creating bullish momentum. So for Therapeutics, again, without news taken into consideration, so if any news comes, it might be changing the chart, let's say, considerations. But at the moment, we are actually sitting at the triple support line. So it is moving average 50, it is T1 trend, and this support line S1. So it's a triple support at the moment, and the new wave might already start from here. So actually Monday's action will show what will happen. But momentarily, you can try to open a small position here. If the wave immediately recovers, well, then at least you can keep it till that level. So it would be 30 plus, so 30, yeah, 30.50, probably $30.50. This should at least be confirmed, so the previous almost maximum should be confirmed. Should the price instead go further down, then we might take a next level for entry, and this would be a very good support line here, which is about in the vicinity of actually 24.50, 24. So that would be then advised entry actually again, and then further support lines here being even stronger ones. It's 22 plus, and then next one would be on these levels. So with these lines depicted here, and again opening a small position already in the opening of Monday, you can say, okay, this is would be S2, S3, and S4 lines. Therefore, another entry would be advised actually at S3, which will be very strong support line, and then next one would be in the S4 and lower, so somewhere between S4 and moving average 200, which is this red line. We can continue it imaginarily, so it will be somewhere in this area. So with these three entries, it's advised to buy with 1 to 2 average down strategy, meaning that you buy with one portion and then you actually average down with 2 and again with 2 should the price go further down. And if we will recover immediately from opening of Monday, then it would mean we can go to this R1 line, very well let's say formed maximum where we can reach. Even we can go higher, but then it will be forming an upper wave, which is like beyond consideration, but at least to R1 we can go. If we start from second level, from second circle actually, then T1 trend might work as additional resist here, even starting from S1 line. So this would be the first exit, and if we start deeper, then actually we could stop and start volatiling somewhere between S3, S2, maybe somewhere in the middle. So we will show how the action will take place here. And just for information, to depict another very strong support line, it's on this level 17, not given we go there, of course, but just to have it in our, let's say, perspective in the view. So this is it for TGTX, and indeed this stock is quite interesting for very well echeloned play, and also it's showing quite nice growth. Also its moving averages 20 and 50 are not only positive, but also their first and second derivative are positive, meaning like the price is going up with some slight acceleration. So next stock in our list is BeiGene, and if we look at it, it's kind of similar situation, although the wave correction is a little bit slighter and it's a longer one. So we might still see some further correction action here, which will open for us buying opportunities, and therefore it's advised maybe to wait a little bit before making a first position here. And the situation here is such that we see a very nice trend that was taking place quite long, and actually it started again in May. This T1 trend was being reconfirmed many times in middle of June, and then with double wave bouncing from actually moving average 20 somewhere in 12th of July. Also it was partially reconfirmed at 28, 29 of July, and then all the way about 10 of August. Again, a reconfirmed long way from September till almost middle of September. And then it made this very long wave with some small jump and volatility. Again, small jump volatility. Actually, this candle combination white-red is a bit worrying. It's a bullish one, and it might open actually an upwards top here. So like the ceiling to go higher, and also it might start opening actually downwards channel. Again, not clear where the angle would be. This will be defined by next maximum, but just to keep it in mind. And what we see now, so the latest candle was kind of a piercer, meaning like we can go still further because it's still by its form, it's kind of a hammer, but it's a hammer on the flat move, and it already pierced moving average 20 here. So it might work as a further piercer here, going like this, and then this would mean a further correction might take place. At least we should reach T1 line. Most probably we will stuck somewhere between T1 and moving average 50. So this line going upwards here as well. And this is also the reason for that. It's not only that it's double support, but because there are also support line starts here. So it's this one, although it's like a little bit short-term confirmed. So let's call it volatility line. Just on these levels. And then if we look further, the reason we call it volatility line here is because it's not showing any maximum or minimum here. It's more like inflection point. So when the price second derivative started changing, and if we look more carefully here, it's in this area. And then what we can see, really the support, which is also confirmed by maximums of previous waves, is starting in this area. And then if we would draw it, it will be actually on that level. So anything between this blue line and the support line, so let's call it S1 and volatility line V1, will be a very nice entry position for this stock. So this would be the first entry position, and then the next levels here are actually on, it's this one, then this one, again more like a volatility point, and then the real strong support line is actually at this level. And with this depicted, it shows that the next entry average down opportunity here would be just on the next support line and all the way towards the volatility line. So we can name them as 2 and V1. And also again, buying strategy is 1 to 2. So either we will recover from here, again reconfirming trend 1, and should we recover from the second circle, most probably this new downwards trend, let's call it R2, and the upper one will be R1. So R2 will be confirmed. Then we will see how the price will act. Probably news will also engage into price formation here, and then it will be more clear what will be the future. We'll come to this stock later. And for the moment, that's the entry positions and the play you can do. So with this, actually, BGN stock is actually quite nice in the sense that it was forming very decent support lines, and its waves are going up without major breaking behavior, meaning that there is still a capacity to grow, and yeah, all other parameters are still good. But of course, RSI still need to go at least to the middle levels and create extra positive pressure. So with this, let's go to our last but not least in today's list of stocks. It's QGEN, ticker name QGEN, and it's traded at New York Stock Exchange. Here what we see, it's actually a double cascaded break of the wave. So you can clearly see the wave that went upwards was broken, and then second break. So if you draw it here, it's like going up wave, then one break and second break. And the second break, if you look more, let's say, closer to the chart, is taking place for the moment and one of the actually volatility levels, because it's not really strong support, but more volatility. We usually draw it in blue. And this would mean that price still might pierce further down, although it's like a almost hammer, like, or let's say a bullish red doji, if you can call it that way. So it might mean that there still could be a spike in the Monday at the opening, but this is purely casino approach, so we don't really advise entering here. So just wait. Should the price go further down, it's really like wait or leave it kind of trading strategy here. So if opportunity come, enter. If not, just lose it, because it's better to lose opportunity than money. So in this case, it's just wait. If chance comes, would be very interesting. And the reason for that is also that moving average 20 is kind of decelerating and going down, so there could be more severe correction to take place, and then these would be the lines to enter. Let's draw them all first. And with these lines being actually supports in this stock, let's name them. So it will be V1 volatility, then S1, S2, S3, and then S4. With this, the first entry would be advised should the price go further actually at S1 level, and then the second average down actually somewhere starting from the middle of S2 and lower S3. This would be a very reasonable average down area, again with 1 to 2 buy and average down approach. Still, as I said, some volatility might take place here, but then most probably the price will return, because we can clearly see here strong resists being formed. It's this one and also on top, and it seems like we have a downwards channel here also kind of showing itself. It's this, and if you would continue, it's this one. So this would mean that until this downwards channel actually, let's call it C1, C2 lines, until C1, C2 hits actually S1, the very first strong support line, it's not expected any major change in the price action, so we'll be probably volatiling in C1, C2 and going down, and until we see S1, there won't be a first, let's say, chance for bulls really to change the trend, change the channel. Once this is reached, we will see who wins. If not, then the second line, so the second circle, would be very strong bullish, and then most probably bulls will prevail here and the price will return and go upwards. Still, news might change it rapidly. Of course, we are in a kind of situation where news can impact this one, because it's also a stock very vulnerable for news in a good and a bad sense. But if it will still stay on the technical side, these are the levels and expectations for QGEN. With this, we actually finished today's episode. Thank you for watching. Also, please do not forget to subscribe, press the bell. This way you will not miss our new videos and new interesting discussions for US-based stocks.